won a national championship in 1990. Here's his starting five.
Well, you have Quantrell Thomas in for Mike Moser, but expect to see Ken Birch early in this game, and you have the two Washburn brothers playing the 3 and 4 position for UTEP.
Year number 2 as well. Tim Floyd, now the head man here. Miner fans said, we want the best in the nation. And that's just what we've got. Number 21 in town, Oregon, coming in on Wednesday night. Opening tip brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Thomas will hand it, take the tip. Ball is up. Tips it, but it goes to Chris Washburn. Washburn will give it out to Streeter. Streeter standing at the 10-second line, dribbling way out to Marshall. Watch it there. Gets the ball to go hand. Gives it out to Streeter.
Well, this UNLV team, they know how to put tremendous pressure on passes, especially penetration passes to the corner. They're very athletic. They love turning you over.
Wow, and what a nice start. Just what UTEP needed. Chris Washburn going right up and over there in the paint, a place where the Miners have struggled throughout the year. They've struggled to score, period, and here they get a board down at the other end.
And that was a pretty deep post position there by Washburn.
And a big 3 ball from Jalen Ragland, who had 17 against Idaho. He has not been able to put it together in back-to-back games. It would be huge if he can go double digits tonight.
And here's what Tim Floyd likes to do. They call it jump defenses. He starts out in a box-in-1 on Anthony Marshall. Very interesting move. Tim Floyd will also play triangle in 2. He'll also play straight zone. He'll also play man-to-man. He is coming out to do this to Anthony Marshall to try and throw him off his game. Marshall's done a great job this year, but not a pure point guard. So let's watch this box-in-1 and see how effective it is.
And first whistle blows. The foul called there on Cedric Lang. Here are accurate keys to the game.
Well, the big advantage that they have is having Bennett inside. It's not going to be easy to get him the ball, though, in this box-in-1, without a doubt.
Anthony Bennett, the freshman, leading all freshmen in scoring in the nation with that 20.3, top 20 of all players. Short on that one, though. And UNLV still scoreless.
Very important that UTEP control the tempo of this game. They don't want it up and down. They want this game to be 60s at the most.
Well, a nice move to the rack there. Unable to finish, though. Cedric Lang as he goes by Bennett. And pulling up and firing. We'll see a whole lot of that. Bryce DeJean Jones. We saw a lot in Vegas, and he's starting to hit those shots, Coach.
Well, he's a very talented kid, but that was not a good shot to take right there. You could get that shot off a couple of more passes, and I think Dave Rice wants his shot selection to improve.
Early on, Coach, this is an up-tempo look here for a UTEP squad.
Well, here's what I'll tell you about UTEP. They don't want this game to be up and down, but they do need to look for some opportunistic baskets, because, you know, when you struggle to score, it doesn't help you to always set up either, because it's going to be harder to score in the half court. So get some easy baskets when you can, but when you have to play half court and take your time. But this box-in-1, interesting with Ragland all over Anthony Marshall.
Baseline, and it's blocked away. Good start here for Washburn. He started the scoring and has a block here against the freshman.
The other way, stops the foul, left side to Streeter, and Streeter will back out. Chris Washburn in the lane, fall away, searching for jumper, no good. Thomas with the rebound.
Quantrell Thomas with the rebound off the Washburn miss.
Rice comes right side. Rice stops, passes to Marshall. Marshall thinks about the 3 instead, left corner.
Down to the corner for Reinhardt. And the first bucket of the night for UNLV is a 3 ball from Reinhardt.
Well, Reinhardt, another very good freshman. Their young players are very good, but they have to do a lot for this team. DeJean Jones, Reinhardt, Bennett, these guys have to play well, especially with Mike Moser out.
Hannon and Streeter just passing it back.
And you can see Anthony Bennett here is not guarding Lang at all. Lang's out here with the ball. Look where Bennett is. He's in the middle of the lane, being ready to help out on everything in there.
Miners continue to fire up. Offensive board, uncontested, and putting it right back up. Cedric Lang, the sophomore.
See, if you're not going to guard Lang, that's fine. But you do have to find him when the shot goes up and box him out.
7-3. Rice Jones tries to gets the ball to Bennett. Bennett underneath.
Jones feeds Bennett right on the block, comes back underneath, and he's fouled. So Anthony Bennett will shoot 2 here at the line. He's averaging almost 8.5 free throw attempts a game.
Well, here's where the boxing one can be a little weak, is you're going to see this dribble, you're going to see dribble penetration. First of all, here's the non-box out. I mean, where's Bennett? He's nowhere to be found.
If there is one aspect of the game, talking with those UNLV coaches at shoot-around earlier today, what would you like to see Anthony Bennett improve on? It's his defense. It's his understanding of the defense. He's in great shape. And believe it or not, with that build coach, he comes to town, a Canadian, but then he plays there in high school in Las Vegas. Never touched a weight until he got into that UNLV program.
I mean, he's averaging 9 rebounds a game, but I just think be a little more intense on the defensive end. You know, it happens with a lot of gifted players like him. They're ahead. They're much more ahead of things offensively than defensively. He's got to make sure he stays intense on the glass.
Good job defensively. DeJon Jones in there to get the rebound. Anthony Marshall.
Anthony, top of the key, left side to Jones. Jones fakes the three, now goes baseline. Jones underneath.
Jones pumped and drove right by Washburn, and was a practice on shoot-around day today.
There's no doubt about it, and I met Tim Floyd in 1984. He came to recruit a kid who played for me named Rod Strickland. Remember him? He was a pretty good player. They loved getting point guards from the Bronx. They had Tiny Archibald, who was a great player from the school next door to my high school, so they liked those kind of point guards. See, that's a bad shot. Those are the kind of shots that lead to runouts, and this is what you don't want UNLV to do, even though they did a great job getting back that time.
Reinhardt kicks it back to Marshall and making him pay, Coach.
Anthony Marshall is not a great three-point shooter, but he's a pretty good three-point shooter in transition. And that bad shot that Texas El Paso took led to that basket. That's what they don't want.
Marshall on that All-Mountain West Conference defensive squad almost had a steal there. Looked like got himself in a little bit of trouble, did Streeter. And ends up ugly. They turn it over. So 7-7 tied here, under 15 to play first half.
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough. Teams that struggle to score, like UTEP, have to, at times, he looked like he danced on the line there, I don't know. They have to look to run at times and try and get some easy baskets because you can't set up the entire game. And that's what they're doing. Now, these two kids, Connor Tucker and Mackenzie Moore in the game. Mackenzie Moore just 2 practices under his belt. Connor Tucker was hurt most of the he actually played in their one preseason game, had 12 points. He's a graduate student from Sam Houston State, a very good three-point shooter. So these two guys are going to inject new life into this Texas El Paso team that needs offense. And now they're in a triangle, and now they're man-to-man. Tim Floyd will change up every possession. He goes boxing one, now he's straight man-to-man.
There's Mackenzie Moore on Jones, kicking it to the corner. And a nice stroke there, Carlos Lopez Sosa.
You know, I told Dave Rice today, it's hard for him to get Carlos Lopez Sosa in the game. This guy last year played 12 minutes a game and averaged like 8 points. One of the most productive guys in the country. But now with Moser out, he gets an opportunity.
And turning it over, that whistle will give us a stoppage and will give, well, something running Rebel fans have waited for a long time. The sophomore, Kem Birch, making his debut, the transfer from Pittsburgh, sat out for a year, and with the new semester, here he comes. He Canadian as well. A lot of Canadian flavor, of course. The freshman Anthony Bennett is from Toronto. Birch is from Montreal.
All 3 new players in the game already.
There's Justin Hawkins in there too. Everybody, Mountain West Conference, college basketball fans for that matter, know exactly what Jayhawk can do defensively. And Carlos Lopez Sosa is going to be whistled up for his first foul.
Foul number 11, Carlos Lopez Sosa, his first personal.
So, Coach, you get in that bubble and you go through the routine, fans, coaches, players alike, of, you know, oh, we're good, we win, we're expected to win, go play basketball, go beat Cal. You almost kind of look past and you forget a kid who hasn't played basketball in a year, and now you're a top 20 team. You've got all of college basketball waiting to see what you're going to do. The Rebel Nation waiting to see what you're going to do, what you're going to give. That's a lot of pressure on a college kid.
Well, he's going to definitely feel pressure. He was a McDonald's All-American. So, I mean, everybody knows who he is. So he's going to be feeling that. But he also, it's easy because he's playing with a lot of good players. He doesn't have to do a lot. He's not on a team with like, wow, he's the savior. He's not the savior of this UNLV team. He's another piece that can help them. It's a big difference than when you come in and you're the savior. He's not that.
Absolutely, but you got to believe that he wants to be a good piece and a solid piece.
He will be. He will be a solid piece, but he's a piece.
Yes, sir. And defensively is where they will use him the most. This UNLV team not having many problems scoring, averaging over 80 points a game. An outstanding defender. Savon Goodman in there as well. And Tucker, who is, you mentioned coming back in, the best shooter on this team, misses his first shot. Banging around. Jones was banged. No whistle, but he does get the bucket. And a quick timeout call from that UTEP bench right after he stroked it right in front of him.
Okay, the 2 threes so far that UNLV has made.
As well, but unlike Birch, Coach, he was academically ineligible, had to go the JUCO route, therefore he could not practice while he was waiting his turn. There he is driving and gets fouled as he drives. So, Coach, how about that? Number 13 has practiced exactly 2 days with this team.
Well, here's the difference between me and Tim Floyd. Tim Floyd coached in the NBA, so he had guys that get traded. And guys in the NBA, when you get traded, you come to a team, you play right away. You don't even know the plays or anything. I would have trouble doing that because I've only been in college. So it works out well for Mackenzie Moore that he's playing for a guy who's in the NBA and is not afraid to play him, having only practiced 2 days. How much of the stuff can he possibly know? Not a lot of it, but he's obviously a talented kid because Tim Floyd put him in early.
So you talk about pressure, you got to think really nothing to lose. Not even sure what kind of shape he's in. You know, you'd like to think your guys are out there conditioning, but there's nothing like playing full-speed basketball, especially when you're taking on the number 21 team in the nation. Whistled up here is Streeter.
You can go out and run 440s and sprints all you want. It's not the same as when you're playing in a game. I don't care who the conditioning coach is. It's not the same as when you're playing basketball for real in a game.
Transferred from the City College of San Francisco.
See, that's not Ken Birch's strength. Doesn't have a lot of post moves yet. That looked pretty good, though. You know what? There's no book on him. If there was a book on him, you would take away the left shoulder. He was going to that left shoulder no matter what, and he forced his way in there. Let's see if UTEP makes the adjustment the next time he catches the ball to go in the other way.
We went right at John Bohannon there, the 6'10 junior for UTEP. Back down the other end. With a 15-7 lead, the running Rebels will turn it around and try to play some defense. Hawkins was there late, but the shot was off the hands of Julian Washburn. Stepping back, and a 2 rolls out. Nice offensive board. Birch goes down hard, and numbers for the Miners. Here's Tucker, pulls it back out and slows it down. And oh gosh, a nice pass into Bohannon. Had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in.
They converge on the ball so quickly, UNLV. Wow, Ken Birch. I know Dave Rice told me, right now he's more of a
football. When you got a new quarterback in there, gosh, you want to set him up with a nice screen pass, a nice easy hook. Don't give him a tough throw. Let him get a nice completion, go 1 for 1, ease into it, and then let him go run the offense. It was a very similar start for Ken Birch. You got to think that entire UNLV bench wanted him to make those first couple buckets, to have a good feeling. He's got a nice rebound, got a nice offensive move down there for his first point, and then the foul called as he tried to defend him earlier.
Well, there's no doubt that they have great size in their front line. You think of it now that Birch is a 5-man, Anthony Bennett's a 4-man. They got Savon Goodman, who's about 6'6", 6'7" himself, so very good size.
Goodman goes for the steal, and making him pay is Washburn there. Julian Washburn and John Bohannon have combined to score almost 50% of the UTEP points over the last 4 games. Tucker's still in there. Connor Tucker, best shooter on the team after breaking his hand in exhibition. There he is with the ball. Still not 100%, the son of a coach back in Fort Worth, Texas. There's Justin Hawkins. A little too strong, and the rebound to Chris Washburn, Julian's brother.
Well, it's funny because, you know, I think people at home say, boy, UTEP's playing pretty fast, but you know what? The score's only 15-9 after 10 minutes. So the pace of the game has not been all that fast, which favors UTEP. They're lucky to be down 6 the way they're playing so far in the half-court offensive.
Number 1, Thomas. Number 10, DeQuan Cook.
There's DeQuan Cook. Quintrell Thomas back in there. There's Cook on Washburn.
Yeah, they got a switch there. They got the wrong guy on Washburn.
Well, check out the most anticipated game of the year, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, available now, rated mature.
UTEP basketball.
Nice look there at the Don Haskins Center. Back when they won the national championship in 1966, it was Memorial Gym. And the hometown crowd kind of likes that, just as Rebel fans at home watching Kem Birch get in the scoring column here for UNLV in his first action. Tucker does as well, a nice steal to back it up. Numbers, and a big 3 ball that won't go. It's short for Tucker.
Yeah, DeQuan Cook there, that was a freshman mistake. He assumed that pick and roll was going to be there, and it was not there.
To get it to Bennett down low, and Bennett with good hands, strong hands, loses it here on the block, and it's last touched by UTEP. 23 to shoot. Here, 9:23 left in the first half. UNLV will keep the rock.
Checking in for the Miners, number 2, Jalen Ragland, number 25, Connor Tucker.
So Jalen Ragland back in.
They've kind of stuck with this man-to-man for a while now, UTEP.
There's Cook from the corner. Cook getting involved as well, stroking the 3.
They were thinking of redshirting him, and they just decided that they could use another guy. They didn't like Caden Reinhardt so much. They wanted him to concentrate on scoring and not worry about being the backup point guard. So now you have DeQuan Cook, who's a good point guard to have for Anthony Marshall.
Cedric Lang with the dunk. A 4-point game, and Cook's ball was a 2-ball, not a 3. There he is.
That's a good call.
And steps for Reinhardt.
All right, let's watch this play here. The UNLV defense breaks down here. They don't stop them off the dribble. Hold it. Stop it right there. Back turn. Not having good position. Gets beat off the dribble, and watch what happens. Nobody comes in and helps. Okay, roll it. That's just bad help the helper defense. They won't even help it aggressively that way.
And you know, Coach, we see a lot of the familiar faces for UNLV. This one won't go off the hands of Washburn, but there are key pieces that are new. Not just Kem Birch, not just Cook, but a lot of new guys trying to play together, and it showed a couple times here in this game.
Well, they're also playing without, I guess Bennett's the best player. Certainly their second best player, Mike Moser, playing without him. So that's also tough.
Hoping to have Moser back in about a month. Rough week last week for Mike Moser. Didn't get to play in his homecoming back in Portland with an injured hip. It was early in that Cal game. He dislocated that elbow. 10 to shoot here for the Miners.
I like this kid. Julian Washburn's going to be a very good player.
Oh, Bennett decides to run it, feeds it off to Reinhardt, takes it right to the rack.
They score quickly. That's a freshman mistake. Washburn doesn't see everybody around him and just decides to go.
Got 4-on-4 down at the other end. Is still tackled back up at the other free throw line.
They like it better. There's more space.
Chris Washburn and Anthony Bennett. Washburn had Bennett in a leg lock. They'll fight down on the block. They're just letting them play a little bit of blacktop ball right now here in the Don Haskins Center.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a great refereeing crew. These are our final 4 refs, and we want to express our condolences to Mark Whitehead, whose father passed away in Kelton this morning.
A little bit of sloppiness, 19-13.
Play half court.
On the other side, Dave Rice's team has taken advantage of those long three balls in transition.
Oh, yeah, I think Dave Rice is kind of happy with this tempo the way it's going so far. You know, all these big guys for UNLV, they're like on high alert now. You have Anthony Bennett, you know he's playing. You got Ken Birch, he's probably playing. Then you got Sosa, you got Control Thomas, you got Mike Moser's going to come back. These guys want to play. And at some point, when Moser comes back, it's not going to be an easy thing for Dave Rice. I mean, it's a nice thing to have, but he's got a lot of big guys that can play.
This is the front end of a 1-1. Here's a 2-ball. And DeJon Jones short there, rebound to Ragley. Julian Ragley, who hit his first shot of the night. A great practice shooter, they say. There's guys tangled up again, and they'll call this one on Tucker. And, Coach, you mentioned it right before break. There's Mark Whitehead and his father, Kelton, just passing away. And so thoughts with him and his family. Tough week.
Oh, heck of an official. Final Four official. As this crew is, this is a great crew. Now we got the boxing one again. The boxing one is most effective when Marshall gives the ball up to not allow him to get it back. And that time, Connor Tucker, that's what he did. He face guarded Anthony Marshall. Once he passed it, he didn't let him get it back. And it's kind of like cutting off the head of the dragon. If you don't let the point guard get the ball back, now who's controlling the offense? That's a place where a boxing one can be effective.
And that's a place where, you know, this is a contrast in styles, these two teams. But 2 nights ago, we were in the pit and watched New Mexico beat a team from right up the road, Las Cruces, New Mexico, and New Mexico State. They have a few options of guys that can handle it out top and bring it up the floor.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, you have Kendall Williams, you have Hugh Greenwood, then you got Jamal Fenton coming off the bench, so they have guys that can play the point.
Unable to take advantage again at the free throw stripe. Lang missing, but an offensive board and a fresh shot clock here. Under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Miners trailing by 6, and now what should be 8 after the Justin Hawkins lay-in, and it is 21-13 UNLV.
I love Justin Hawkins. This is a kid that does everything for UNLV. He'll make a shot, he comes off the bench, he plays hard on defense. He's an experienced guy as a senior. He gives them something really good off the bench, Justin Hawkins.
UTEP basketball.
Well, Justin Hawkins doesn't just do it on the court and in the classroom. A lot of charity work throughout his career. They're the kids in town in Las Vegas. That's the way his mother Carmen raised him. Outstanding young lady that we know all about.
Miscommunication there. Coach Floyd thinks more Cook's fault than Bohannon's. So Streeter's back in.
C.J. Cooper, number 25, Connor Tucker.
Quick on the draw, Anthony Marshall knocking down another 3, this time with the defender in his face, and it's 24-13. The lead up to 11 as we near 5 left in the first half.
He's a couple inches bigger than Streeter, and that really helped him on that particular shot.
There he comes around the screen and gets a piece of Jaquez.
Number 3, Marshall. His second personal foul. 19 fouls on UNLV.
Now you'll see Marshall just come out to the corner there, and Streeter, the lack of size, doesn't have his hand up quick enough, knocks it out.
Jaquez serves the bonus. Reinhardt back in for the Rebels, number 3, Marshall.
Marshall take a breather over there next to Coach Heath Schroyer, former head man at the University of Wyoming. How about those guys? How about those guys that Schroyer recruited up there to the High Plains and Laramie? They're doing pretty good for Larry Shiat now, aren't they?
Well, and how about one of them starting for Oklahoma? He's pretty good too, Ahmad Mbai.
Birch back in. He gets the ball down low, and he's fouled as he goes up high and hard.
I'll tell you, he's looking to take that thing hard.
Isn't he?
I mean, this is a... Oh, yeah, that, you know... You cannot get beat off. If you get beat off the dribble and you're leaving your team to have to guard 5 guys with only 4, you must stay in front of the ball. Lang there was stuck. He didn't know what to do. Do I stop the ball? Do I go back up? You can't get beat off the dribble that easy.
0 for 2, first trip to the free throw line for the Pitt transfer. 10 games for the Pitt Panthers, Ken Birch, and his 1 year there last season. 15 minutes per game, average almost 4.5 points, 5 rebounds a game in that little action before leaving town.
Chris Washburn playing like a freshman. Too fast, take your time. You don't have, he's trying to find something every time he catches the ball. Sometimes there is nothing there. Just get it out and reverse it, and that's doing something positive for the team. Young guys don't understand that. They always think, if I'm going to help the team, I got to do something. I got to make a basket. I make a nice pass. Sometimes just reversing the ball is helping the team to function better.
Adding to the turnovers in the first half, 8 now for Tim Floyd's squad, isn't helping anything. It's a plus 2.4 turnover margin on the season for UTEP. That's 3rd in Conference USA. Not a great night for both teams at the free throw stripe. Justin Hawkins with the miss, and the board for Julian Washburn. Julian and Chris, their father Chris, of course, played at NC State, the number 3 pick in the 1986 NBA draft by Golden State. And there's Julian, the sophomore.
Chris plays more like his father because he was a big guy. Julian is much more of a guard, small forward type.
DeJon Jones out to Reinhardt. Reinhardt knows just what to do with it, knocking down another tray.
And a very good pass by DeJon Jones. That's something that he's got to add to his game. He's kind of very aggressive offensively. So finding his teammates is going to help that team a lot, too.
There's Birch being up Bohannon. And a good move there down low by John Bohannon, the junior from Lancaster, Texas.
That was a dance routine right there. That was pretty good football.
Lopez Sosa badgered, but still able to go right into the teeth of Bohannon.
I mean, I was getting ready to yell, kick it out, kick it out. He put it in the basket. That was not a good shot, but he made it. It's a pretty good bench UNLV has.
And ripping a 3, the former Duncanville Panther, Julian Washburn. Defensive trip here, trying to keep the momentum for the Miners. Helping out on Birch, going for the steal, and now a man up of the Rebels. Birch kept it alive, fresh shot clock. Reinhardt will pull it back out. 2 minutes to play here in the first half in El Paso. Rebels, the first top 25 team to come to town in almost 3 years. What a win it would be for this UTEP squad of Tim Floyd's. They could pull off an upset tonight. They've got Oregon coming to town, who's knocking on the door of the top 25. On Wednesday night, we'll have that game for you as well on CBS Sports Network. and he got so confused, he walked with it and turns it right over to UNLV. Don Haskins in 1966. We'll talk with Big Daddy D. David Latine at halftime as well. We'll make sure you want to keep it right here for that. The Don Haskins Center, place to be right now on CBS Sports Network. Number 21, UNLV running Rebels alongside Coach Steve Lapis. I'm James Bates. We had a top 25 team in the Mountain West Conference. New Mexico Lobos hosting their rival New Mexico State Aggies on Saturday. Easy win for them. Oregon Ducks coming to town here out of the Pac-12 to take on UTEP. In 2 nights on CBS Sports Network for you.
Well, it's funny, James, because the score is where it should be, but the game, the score is like that because they're not shooting well. It's not this score is not indication of the pace of the game. I think the pace of the game has been faster than that score indicates.
Night at 8 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. And expect anything. Those two teams get together. Donnie Jones, his 6-2 Knights have won 3 in a row. The Hurricanes 6-1, handing Charlotte their first and only loss of the season. For the Canes, their only loss to Florida Gulf Coast University.
They love pick and rolling at the end of the shot clock.
And that shot clock is ticking down, now down to 7, letting it go. And he's fouled. Reinhardt helped out a little bit. There's just over 20 here left in the first half now, and Reinhardt will head to the stripe.
Caden Reinhardt is very good with the ball. He can play point guard, and he's played a lot of backup point guard for the first part of the season. I think Dave likes, when you have a young player, a lot of times it's better to just leave him at one spot. I think they like him at the 2 spot because he can score, and that's a big reason why Daquan Cook now is eligible to kind of play some point for Anthony Marshall.
You ever have a freshman like Anthony Bennett come on to campus for you there at Villanova, Coach?
Tim Thomas was the National Freshman of the Year in 1996. He averaged 19 and 9 or 8 as a freshman. And he was 7th pick in the NBA draft that year. Unfortunately for us, Tim was a great kid and he was a heck of a player. He played in the NBA 12 years, I think. So yeah, I had one of those guys. I had 7 pros, but he was the only one that came in as a pro before he even started school.
Lopez Sosa denying the attempt by Cedric Lang to end the half, and so here we go to start the second half. Out there for UTEP wearing those Texas Western College uniforms. And it is Mackenzie Moore getting his first action as a minor here tonight. We'll go back the other way.
That was a really good pass by Anthony Marshall. I mean, they didn't make the shot, but he was in the lane, and all the white shirts converged around him, and he kicked it out. But they just couldn't knock down the shot, and then they had a foul call against him.
There's Moore. Here's Streeter. He's got Marshall. That's a tough call going up against Anthony Marshall.
I think it's an indication of how good Tim Floyd and how much confidence he has in Mackenzie Moore that the kid practiced for 2 days and he's starting him in the second half. I think it also speaks to that he's a little bit desperate to get some offense going, and Mackenzie Moore is a very talented kid that is going to be really good. You can't even judge him by tonight.
Well, he held that one on his hip, double dribble. And it's 13 on 13. Dijon Jones. Now over to Reinhardt. Fighting down low, Julian Washburn. Whistled up on the block. There's a look at Mackenzie Moore. Pleasant Hill, California kid, 6'6", 190.
When Bryce Dijon Jones learns to harness his talent and make good decisions like he did there, he is going to be an all-league player without a doubt.
There's the quick hands down at the other end, and that's one thing, Coach, we saw in that Global Sports Classic in Las Vegas. We saw Bryce DeJean-Jones fire up every time he touched the ball. But talking with Dave Bryce at shoot-around today, he said, you know what, he started to hit those, but most importantly, he continues to play hard and continues to play great defense.
Well, we had a philosophical discussion before with Dave Rice, and his philosophy is, I want these guys to be loose, and then I want to rein them in. I want them to be loose and feel confident, and then when they take a bad shot, I'll tell them about it. I was kind of the opposite. Good pump fake. I was the opposite. I was on guys from the beginning, and I like the way Dave does it. And I even told him, I said, I'll be honest with you, if I came back to coaching today, I would be different in that I would allow my guys to do more. And he does the right thing. He's giving them the confidence. But yeah, DeJean-Jones has to be reined in a little bit, but he's always going to have that confidence going for him. So I like the way Dave does it. He's got his way. And you know what? There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. All the big thing is that you have the conviction, you believe in what you do, and you're consistent with it, and that's what good coaches do.
Coach, as close as our rooms are back at the hotel, please don't skin any cats tonight. I'd like to get some sleep here in El Paso.
And we'll be here for a couple of days.
That's right. That's right. Coach made the drive down yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't see many people. It's not like being back home in Philly.
I've never seen anything like it. I went 60 miles between Albuquerque and here, where you didn't, if you looked right and left, you didn't see nothing. Not a person, not a car, not a house, nothing for an hour. Except the sign said next McDonald's 70 miles. I was like, oh. I said, this is not the New Jersey Turnpike, that's for sure.
Yeah, a kid that grew up in the South Bronx and now lives in Philly. Oh, Coach, I can't believe you had a cell phone signal.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. Yeah, I did.
Oh, throwing it around a little bit here. Bennett loses it, but bailing him out and putting it right back in, cleaning up the trash. Anthony Marshall, the mayor.
That's nice to see. A little too unselfish there. I thought they could have taken that to the basket the first time. An extra pass was not necessary, but you know what? A coach would rather see that than see the opposite. Their half-court defense, first of all, they're holding people at 30. Look how Marshall goes to the ground and gets up in time to be able to stop Streeter from getting to the basket.
Can't make plays on the ground, can you? All good defenders know that. Three try with a hand in the face, but can't hit it. Washburn, the rebound to DeJean-Jones.
You know, I started to talk about, wow, he can really do that. You know, I started to talk about UNLV is a tremendous, we talk about their offense, their half-court defense is as good as they're holding people at 37%, and 23% is top 10 in the nation in defending the three-point shot. This is a terrific defensive team.
There's a floater, won't go in a rebound back down at that end for Anthony Bennett. Bennett, 27 points against Laverne. Went 25 and 13, the big win at Cal. Reinhardt has to go up and pull that one in. And a two-ball, way short, rebound to Julian Washburn.
You know what team is playing really good transition defense? When they get back and the other team, they're already in their stance when the other team gets to the three-point line. And that's what this UNLV team does. They're so athletic and so fast, and they're committed to defense. They get back in transition as good as anybody.
Well, you talk about that drive down from Albuquerque. That's a pretty good defensive playing team with Steve Alford's up there. Really the New Mexico Lobos.
Oh, they're a very good team. Yeah, no doubt. I don't think they have quite the talent that UNLV has, but that is a really good team.
Well, and you'll be there in the pit for league play when it opens in Mountain West Conference action with a doozy when UNLV heads to the Duke City. That will be phenomenal.
That is going to be phenomenal.
We'll have that on CBS Sports Network for you as well. 38-23. The lead is 15 for the Runnin' Rebels. And kicked it to Hawkins, and Hawkins took a couple steps with it and turns it right back over with 16:08 left to play. It's UTEP ball as they'll make some changes.
You know what's interesting? I talked to Dave Rice before the game this afternoon, shoot-around, about Anthony Marshall. He's not really a point guard, but he's their point guard. He said, you know, he's getting better. And I said, you know, and I'm watching him now. He's gotten a lot better. He's playing better as a point guard than I've seen him. He's made some really good decisions in this game. I like the way he's seeing the floor. He leads the Mountain West in assists, let's just say that. but he just has a better feel now.
Well, he's a homegrown kid, battle-born from North Las Vegas. Mojave High School, the 2009 Gatorade Player of the Year, Anthony Marshall, the senior. 5 to shoot. Here's Tucker. He's got Justin Hawkins on. Has to launch it from way out and drills it.
And you know what? I mean, that's just great defense. He made a heck of a shot. Let's say that. But I mean, if you're Dave Rice.
6'9", 220-pound sophomore from Montreal.
And Texas El Paso is kind of stuck with this man-to-man through the bulk of the game. When we call them junk defenses, boxing ones and triangle and twos, because it's not because they're not good. I used them when I coached. But they're called junk defenses, and they weren't real effective in this game.
I'm going to take another quick break here. A dozen, the lead.
Strengths.
Not a video game guy.
No, my son. I guess they all are. These new age kids.
Well, your son and those Villanova Wildcats doing all right. You got your son following in your coaching footsteps.
At Temple.
You couldn't talk him out of it,
Yeah,
huh?
not yet.
I guess your daughter's following in your broadcast footsteps as well,
yes.
In the TV industry. Washburn driving.
Chris Washburn, he tries to force the issue a little bit too much.
There's a look at Chris. You mentioned Father Chris Washburn, and well, we mentioned the passing of our official's father here earlier tonight, Mark Whitehead. You know, Chris Washburn, when he came on his visit a year ago, his mother Michelle Williams, while he was here on his visit, passed away. His brother was already here as a freshman, and his mother back in the Metroplex, back Dallas-Fort Worth area, passed while he was here visiting with Coach Tim Floyd. So some tough times in the early days here for these two young miners, the Washburn kids. There's another Dallas-Fort Worth kid. Tucker hit a big three just moments ago. This one equally as large. Wow, did the Miners need that?
That was a little more impressive because that one was flat out off the dribble. He knew he wanted to take his man, and he did.
Making a little bit of noise here in the DHC now. Lead back down to 9. And a block is called. To squash that a little bit is going down hard to the deck is John Bohannon.
Well, you're going to see here was a very nice pass, too, by Anthony Marshall.
Back in for the Rebels, number 15, Anthony Bennett, for number 2, Kent Birch.
Well, we've talked about one of the greats in Don Haskins throughout the night. There's another one and a milestone in the career of a coaching legend, Jim Boeheim.
He got a few of those 900 off me, too, believe me. I contributed to that.
Oh, just donating to the cause. Well, you talk about different ways to approach things. I've enjoyed the time that we've spent here the last week, Coach. You gave me a lot of Jim Boeheim stories just to how he approached shoot-around or practice, if you want to call it that, I guess.
Yes, he doesn't believe in it. I'm just telling you, there's so many different ways to be successful in this business. It's unbelievable.
Marshall runner, no, one-handed board for Chris Washburn. Can they continue to chip away? No whistle. Another offensive board. Finally, we get a whistle. Is going down hard as Bohannon, again, well, he's been on the floor quite a bit tonight.
UNLV's number 11, Lopez Sosa, his second personal foul.
That's number 2 on Lopez Sosa.
2 in the line for the Miners.
That's a 15 foul here with 13:20 left in the second half for UNLV.
Shooting 2.
Bohannon with just 1 rebound tonight. When UTEP, when he has 10 or more rebounds here at the Don Haskins Center, the Miners are 9-0. They need him banging down boards. They also need him to hit some free throws when he's got a free trip.
Was a 55% free throw shooter, but some guys that shoot 55%, you say, hey, it doesn't look that bad. He looks like a guy who might shoot 55%.
Well, he looks like a coach that has a guy that shoots 55% of the line.
Oh, yeah. I've had him. It's not fun. I used to think guys who shoot 90 were going to miss. So, you know what I mean? That's just coaches, how they are.
Third time's a charm, and the lead is 8 for UNLV. Here's Bennett running it down, right into the paint, right into the face of Bohannon.
Are you kidding me? The 6'9", 250-pound guy just went coast to coast.
And as smooth as butter.
Butter.
All the talk coming out of Vegas last year, high school-wise, Shabazz Muhammad. They're at UCLA. And now, once they've gotten to their universities, Anthony Bennett, another Las Vegas kid, unlike Muhammad, who went to Bishop Gorman, Bennett went to Finley Prep. It's Bennett making all the noise in college ball.
You know, he took it from the backcourt, so we're just seeing the end of the play here, but he had that thing in his hands from the backcourt, the big man. And you know what? Nobody was running up to him and saying, you know how you know he can do that? The guards were running up to him saying, hey, give me the ball, give me the ball. They were running down the court because they know this guy can handle it.
His third personal foul. 4th team foul.
This team is just so good defensively, UNLV. It's hard to score on them 2-3. Like when you're down 10, it's hard to score on them 2-3 possessions in a row.
Bennett working down low. This is Lopez Sosa handing off, stepping back, unable to get the 2 ball, and a big rebound there for Washburn. There's Tucker. 2 for 2 his last 2 3-point attempts. Tucker, by the way, in that exhibition action, went 3 of 5 from 3-point range. Had 11 points in 16 minutes in that game that he played in before being injured. There's a long 2 ball from Julian Washburn. For the run in the last 5.5. Plus, offensive board to Dejon Jones after the big miss, and another offensive board. This time the putback will go, and it's a big one. Lopez Sosa. Pretty quiet him here.
Pretty good guy to have for your, like, 10th man.
Well, isn't that the truth? Yeah, well, Quintrell Thomas, he's not out there.
That's a bad pass. We used to call that a telegraph back in the old days. That was a telegraph pass.
The lead is 10 for the running Rebels, running things right now at BYU, where he won a national championship with Jerry Tarkanian and was a Rhodes Scholar candidate. Well, see, takes all kinds. Rhodes Scholar candidate. Coach, you weren't a Rhodes Scholar candidate, were you?
No.
But you were a head coach.
Not
see?
even close.
Other end, Washburn. No whistle. Quintrell Thomas there. Little bit of giddy up down at the other end. They'll push it and dropping it in at point-blank range. And Quintrell Thomas doing a great job at both ends. It's 46-34 now. 10:45 left to play.
Dave Rice came into UNLV saying, we're going to get back. Blanco did a great job there, but they played way different. They played much, much slower. He came in and said, we're going to be the running Rebels again, and they score as quickly as anybody you're going to see.
Wow, good feat defensively by Dejon Jones. They're showing you what Dave Rice is so excited about. Wanted a whistle, won't get one. The Miners will get the bucket, though, and get it back to 10 the lead.
There's some jabbing going on between Dejon Jones and Washburn right now.
Here's Thomas down low. The transfer from Kansas is fouled. And
Lang. That wasn't a doubling the toes. Oh no, let's not have any of this. Good job by Dave Rice keeping his guys on the bench.
Split it up, but it was 13, not 31. Nevertheless, down at the other end, it's C.J. Cooper, unable to take advantage. The sophomore.
Here we have a different angle for this.
So 1 of 2 there for Cooper, the sophomore from Laverne, California.
UTEP basketball.
It was Laverne College, the last opponent to fall to this UNLV team. 91-44 on Thursday at the Orleans Arena. 8-1 UNLV. Their one blemish on the season to the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks looking pretty good. Young team, not too many people knew too much about them. Picked 7th at the beginning of the year in the Pac-12. Don't know if that'll be the case here as we get ready to head into conference play before too long. But they will be here in El Paso on Wednesday night, and we will have that game for you on CBS Sports Network. Here's Tucker. Shot clock going down to 5. And there's another one as the shot clock ticks down.
Tough shot. And that was very good defense once. He's made 3 shots against really good defense.
Tucker now 3 of 4 from three-point range, and he leads all scorers with 11 points. Just what they needed here in El Paso, Texas, was somebody that could fill it up a little bit.
Okay, here's Dijon Jones over here. We're going to see what happens as this play is developing. I thought they might have called something there, but oh. Good call by the officials.
Allen, that technical foul aiding UTEP and whittling down this lead, and a bad miss there at the free throw line from Anthony Marshall.
I love Dave Rice. Look how cool he is. I'd be going crazy. Dave Rice is the coolest guy in the building. I'm telling you.
Well, you would be too. 26-9, year 1, year 2. You're looking pretty good. 21 in the nation, I guess. But he is a cool cat. You know what? He took over for a cool cat in Warren Kruger.
Oh, yeah, that was another cool cat, too. No doubt. That's 2 of the coolest you're going to find.
The cat he played for.
I was never called a cool cat.
The cat he played for was cool in a different way. Jerry Tarkanian over on the bench.
He was cool. He chewed on the towel. I wouldn't put him in the cool category. He was chewing on that towel. That's, you know.
Now, we got too many germ freaks in this world now. Everyone's worried about germs. They sit there and be grossed out by it. It used to be cool. I've got Coach Steve Lapis here with me. 9 years as the head man at Villanova. Now has his son back there as an assistant coach for the Villanova Wildcats.
He's at Temple.
Oh, he's at Temple now. I'm sorry, they were playing Villanova last week.
That's right.
Got it mixed up. I can't. Those are fighting words there.
Oh, close.
Oh,
close.
Coach. I didn't mean to tread on the big 5 there. Oh, my goodness. Right. Temple Owls. Largest lead for these UNLV running Rebels as Bryce Dijon Jones comes back in was 15. UTEP led way back when by 5 to start this game. And the lead now down to 7. Back in is Jaquez Streeter, the senior who made his 100th start as a minor tonight. That is a big cutout there, Coach, in the students.
That is a big cutout.
I mean, the Rebellion, they're mostly players and coaches here in El Paso. The Rebellion, they get a little bit more creative back in Las Vegas. They've got Flavor Flav, They've got Psy, the Gangnam Style guy. They got all kinds of guys for you to look at when you're shooting free throws back there. The only problem is there when you look at the Thomas and Mack Center, the way they have it all set up is in the second half when it's all on the line. The opponents are going the wrong way. They don't have to stare down the barrel of the student section. Great student sections across the Mountain West Conference and Conference USA. We just had the Red Menace in the pit on Saturday, led by Snake. Not sure Snake's a student anymore, but leading the charge.
No, I'm going to say he's not. Student. He's been out of there if he was a student, he's been out of there for a while.
Yeah, I think so. Here's Bohannon back at the line now. 8:31, plenty of basketball to be played here. And UTEP honoring 1966 national champion team. Here tonight at halftime, retiring the number 14 jersey of Bobby Joe Hill. Hero of that 1966 national championship team. Everybody talks about those 2 turnovers within a minute span there in the first half against the Kentucky Wildcats. We had Big Daddy D, David Latine on with us at halftime. And now the current UTEP minor squad, Texas Western College, changing its name over to the University of Texas El Paso, which is playing UTEP. Tim Floyd in town trying to get back to the glory days.
And Dave Rice going with Caton Reinhardt now at the back as the point guard.
Carlos Lopez Sosa can't finish right at the rack. And John Jones was moving as he tried to get in the way there of Washburn. So another foul on Bryce. And that's 18 fouls now for the running Rebels.
Yeah, that was a bad foul there. I mean, Dijon Jones reaches in. If he holds his ground, who knows, maybe he ends up charging. Instead, he reaches in, makes it a very easy call for the official.
Well, a lot's been said, and justifiably so. Kem Birch, everybody been waiting to see him. But how about the job that Connor Tucker has done in his debut here, Coach?
Yeah, he's done a great job. And Mackenzie Moore not as good, but practicing for 2 days. He doesn't even know. Everybody knows where they're going. He had no idea where he was going. Connor Tucker went through the whole preseason, so he was part of the team. You know what I mean? The other kid, Mackenzie Moore, wasn't at all. So it's the different situations. Connor Tucker is more comfortable knowing the stuff on the floor. Their big guys handle the ball very well. Lopez now travel. As soon as I said it, he traveled.
Now starting to make some noise and amping it up a little bit. Number 20. Washburn caught underneath the rack. No whistle until the ball is finally knocked out of bounds. And it's knocked out of bounds by the guys in the white Texas Western uniforms. The UTEP Miners.
Tough shot. I'll tell you what, they have a number of very talented players. And that was a big-time shot.
And Dijon Jones has shown some rawness, but he's such a competitor. The transfer from USC, went to Taft High School.
Another telegraph pass. How many now? And that's coming from the point guard who only had 12 turnovers on the season. That was a really, really bad pass.
Well, he's led Conference USA last year in assisted turnover ratio. It led the Big West in 2 years prior to that at Cal State Fullerton. Starting his 100th game, Jaquez Streeter, and that's not what you need when you're trying to work your way back into the ball game.
And that was
number 21.
And a really poor pass. I mean, he was looking at where he was going to throw it for about 3 seconds. Good move there.
Yes, indeed. That's Chris Washburn. The freshman, an and one opportunity, trying it 3 the hard way.
When you look at Bryce Dijon Jones here, he comes out, you can stop it right there. Where's the defense? These guys here, nobody's going out there. That is really, hey, he made a tough shot there, coming out, going away from the basket, but that was really bad miscommunication and bad defense there.
Converting on that free throw, so a three-point play in the lead. Now back down to 7. 6:32 left to play. Bohannon will take a rest, and for him is Cedric Lang, the sophomore from South Dakota. How many games Lang has played in the world's only Coal-Run Palace in Mitchell, South Dakota. Home to Miami Heat star Mike Miller.
Of having strong guys, there's Justin Hudson right there, so they have a terrific staff.
Oh, Justin, and Justin, when it comes to recruiting, you can't get any better than Justin. The job he did there on Montezuma Mesa for Steve Fisher, Kawhi Leonard, he was responsible for bringing Kawhi into town for the Aztecs.
You know, a lot of guys in their first head coaching job, they'd be leery of having such strong guys with them, but obviously Dave Rice, he's not worried about his ego, he's just worried about getting the job done, and he put together a terrific staff.
Here you see him, well, recruiting. You know, we mentioned it earlier. It's an undefeated, one of 8 undefeated teams left there. There at the bottom of your screen is Heath Schroyer.
I know one thing, they're getting players. I don't think there's any question about the recruiting.
One more.
Well, Justin Hawkins seems like he's about a 7th-year senior now, though. He's been there for a while. Anthony Marshall as well. They were part of some great Lon Kruger teams.
Oh, yeah.
Bennett, good trip there. Anthony Bennett now with 7 points here tonight, 3 rebounds. Quiet night by the leading freshman scorer in the NCAA standards anyway. Turning around, unable to knock down the 2. Offensive board, though, nice body and a nice strong putback. Going right back up Cedric Lang.
Strong move right there.
Tough guy, too, Lang. No practice at all. Last 14 games with a stress fracture in his foot of last year. He'll just go to shoot around and then go play in the game. And here he's whistled up down at the other end as he tries to defend. They needed a stop there. 5:33 here left to play.
That's terrible!
So 9 fouls apiece for both of these teams in the second half. You know, Coach, we talk about the job. You look at Anthony Bennett, the recruiting that they're doing there in Las Vegas. But, hey, we need to make sure we tip the cap here to Tim Floyd and his staff. Look right there, a teammate of Anthony Bennett's, Matt Wilms, who is redshirting this year. Another Canadian kid. He's from, actually, Windsor area, right across the border from Detroit. But this year's class that's coming in, one of the 6 in this year's class, Isaac Hamilton, one of the top 20 recruits in the nation out of Los Angeles, a guard whose uncle played for Tim Floyd. Tim Floyd's first recruit back 82 to 86. And his brother Jordan Hamilton is with the Nuggets, but that is a top 20 class. So how about the noise in recruiting that Tim Floyd is making here in El Paso?
Well, they're going to be very good next year. There's no doubt about it. I love the Washburns. They're good players. The kids they have coming in. So this team is going to be really, that's what they feel. Not that they can't be good this year, but they feel like they're going to be really, really good next year.
It's Tim Floyd wanting to bring back the 80s. Literally, why not? 7 NCAA tournaments as an assistant coach under Don Haskell.
And, you know, kids like it. He's been in the NBA. That he knows, he can tell kids in recruiting, I know what it takes to be in the NBA. I coach NBA players, so all those things are very helpful when you go to recruit. They just keep hanging around.
Can't seem to get over that 6, 7, 8 hump, though.
No.
They need a big stop here on the defensive end. Under 10 to shoot. Try to feed it down to Thomas, and there's your stop. Nice job there to go get it by Washburn.
Good job by Washburn there, anticipating what was going to happen and making the steal. Now let's see if they can get some half-court offense. The question is, where do they go in the half-court? Well, they're going down to Chris Washburn.
Look how far out Bennett pushes Washburn. He had him on the block and uses his body to reestablish.
Well, he started out with a 7-footer and ended up being a 14-footer. That was not a good shot. Now we're seeing that boxing one again on Anthony Marshall.
Bennett had it stripped away from behind Streeter. And we're going the way of UTEP on the held ball. Possession arrow pointing the way.
Number 346 out of 347 teams in percentage of points from the three-point line. So any threes are helpful threes for them.
Mackenzie Moore also getting his first action tonight. He's been held scoreless, though. Attempted one shot. It was a 3-ball and a miss. There's Tucker again from the corner, swatted away by Justin Hawkins. 7 on the shot clock here with 3:30 left on the game clock. Coach Tim Floyd steps out on the court. Make sure his team's aware of just that, because this is a big trip here, Coach.
This is a big trip. If they can get a 2 or 3 here and get it down to that 5 or 4 mark, then we'll see how UNLV is going to respond.
Bohannon forced to fire it up. Hey, hey! Bullseye! The long, tall Texan from Lancaster making some noise.
Well, not a three-point shooter. Yeah, it's the first one he made this year. It's only the second one he's taken. So obviously, not his strength. That was a huge shot.
Trying to answer. Other end.
So
Bam, right back at you. Wow. Dejon Jones drills it.
Defense last time down, and Bohannon never makes a 3. Makes a 3 at the buzzer. So, I mean, Dave Rice has to be happy with his half-court defense. That's not good defense. That's bad defense.
Julian Washburn, a chance at another three-point play. This one the hard way, as he's fouled down at the other end by Dejon Jones.
That wasn't good defense before he even caught the ball, because you're going to see here. Stop it. Look at it. Look how deep he is in the paint. You can't play behind the guy under the basket like that. Because at this level, he's going to score every single time. That time, Dejon Jones needed to three-quarter him or get in front of him when he was that deep. He just let him catch it, and it was like, take me, and he did. That's something that I'm sure Dave Rice would be upset when he sees that on tape.
Perfect at the stripe, Julian Washburn, the sophomore. Lead down to 4. It was once 15, 60 to 56. Bennett, lucky he didn't turn that one over. 15 now on the shot clock for UNLV.
They like to pick and roll at the end of the shot clock.
Marshall wants it, he gets it. Now 5 to shoot for the Rebels.
Great pass.
Can't let that happen. You let it down at the end of the shot clock. You get a miss from outside, a big man stepping out, Coach, and then 2 offensive boards and a putback.
Yeah, no, that was not good, but it was great. I thought Anthony Marshall made a great. I love what they're doing. They're getting him posting up, and when they double him, he's kicking it out to guys that are wide open. Good job there by the Rebels in the half court.
Still plenty of time for UTEP. A stop and start. Nice stutter move there from Streeter. Jaquez.
That time, Anthony Bennett really didn't do much to help on that defensively.
Rice wants a timeout.
The pick and roll. And they're going to do it again. They're going to get him down low again.
There's Bennett. He does get it down to Marshall. Backs down on Streeter, but he runs into that second wave of defense, and it's blocked away by Bohannon.
That was a bad decision that time. I thought Dijon Jones was open on the opposite side. That time Marshall tried to take him. But I like what Dave Rice is doing a lot. They got plenty of time. You don't have to go crazy. You're down 2 possessions. That's bad defense.
Again, straight to the rack, Jaquez Streeter.
Bennett's defense and Dijon Jones's defense has really let them down in the last 3 possessions. No help that time. They let Streeter get by him too.
2 big easy lay-ins in the last couple
They got a
minutes
foul.
for Jaquez Streeter, and here comes the clock.
They got the
ticking
foul.
down, and finally, they do get the foul. They foul Bryce Dijon Jones.
They should have fouled much sooner. The shot clock was basically gone. It's not gone. It's a 2-second differential. Now it's gone. But they needed to foul right away there. I think they let 15 seconds go by that they shouldn't have. I think if you're down, you want that last 30 seconds to last as long as you possibly can.
Dijon Jones, 20 of 25 on the season from the free throw line for Dave Rice here. 15.2 remaining in regulation.
One of the great things to do in this situation, if you're, well, it depends obviously if you're down 3 or down 4. Well, I wonder if they go up 3, is Dave Rice going to foul if it gets down under 5?
Dijon Jones missed his first. Here comes the second. Misses it as well.
They got to push it up.
And here we go.
And they're not calling timeout.
Fine Tucker, he's 3 of 5 beyond the hump. Knocked out of bounds, 4 left on the clock. Still UTEP basketball, and Tim Floyd does want to talk it over now. He'll call a timeout.
Different story now. It's an overtime.
62-60. Number 21 in the nation, UNLV, needs to D up here for 4 seconds to hang on.
He's going to get a 3.
Throwing 3, tried Tucker. The pump, and he's just off. As time runs out, had a beautiful look at it, was 3 of 5.